Hey everyone, YouTube tells me I'm live. And if you can see and hear me, will you give me a thumbs up or a 5 by 5 or just some indication that we have a good connection? We have had numerous times in the past where YouTube plays little games with um, my live streams. So while I'm waiting for that, I want to welcome everyone that's here. And I know people will be popping in and out just out of curiosity. So let me just say that this truly is a gratitude live stream. I'm not going to be doing like a telethon thing where I invite you to go, make a last minute gift to buy me a coffee. Here's what's happened. People have been extremely generous and loving and kind, and I have received almost enough to in gifts to cover the cost of that furnace replacement. So I'm I I will I will of course accept other gifts, but you don't have to. Everybody's been generous, and I know there are still some checks in the mail that are headed my way, and um, the response was just overwhelmingly wonderful, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I had almost 200 people who gave a gift in the last few days. And like I said, I'm not going to use it for anything other than what I said I would for the furnace and then fuel for the new system. Um, and I hope I never have to ask or share a need again. But I know if I need to, I can. I want you to know that. It's just like I said, as a veteran, we were always told to, carry our own pack. And then if you couldn't, you didn't hand the whole pack off. Someone maybe took something out of it, so it was a little lighter, but you still carried your pack yourself. And that's a philosophy I've tried to live by. I try to live under my means. I bought a house that was smaller than, the metrics that I could afford. And but in this economy and with inflation, repairs are exceedingly expensive. And I've put a lot of them into the place already. If I started telling you all the things I've fixed in this house since I bought it, from dry rot to adding insulation to finding out there was no insulation in the walls, you'd just be amazed at all the things I fixed. And I got taken advantage of a little bit in the process by contractors. And coming from a different part of the country, I wasn't too aware of pricing differences, etc. And so anyway, there we have it. So I was facing a furnace replacement and I was going to do it, but it was going to leave me worried about other expenses that are coming up soon, like house insurance, or in fall, I have to pay property tax. And yes, I know those things should be going away, but they haven't. And I feel very strongly that we should live responsibly in the reality that we find ourselves in. And that includes paying bills and paying taxes. Even though, as I do, I often say, this does not mean I consent for this practice and type of world setup to continue without change. I'm just trying to participate responsibly, but I give no consent in that process. So tonight I'll be doing a lot of talking. I've got a glass of water off to the side here if I need it. And I'll be doing some tarot reads and giving people some thanks. I received 2 checks already in the mail, both of them generous. And one of them was especially sweet. The note, the check, and Victoria also included this, I think it's a sticker, but I'm just going to use it with magnets on my fridge. Kittens from space. So thank you, Victoria in New York. I appreciate your generosity. Our own moderator, Tess, sent me something. So thank you, Tess. So yeah, you're going to hear some thank yous tonight. I'm going to just do some talking and don't have like notes or anything like that. What I do have off to the side is a second screen here. And I'm on Buy Me a Coffee. I'm going to go through the donors. And when we get to questions that aren't personal, the super personal, I'll take them and do a quick read on them. And just so you know kind of how I'm planning to do this. And because this is my favorite bell sound, we have a little bell here. I tried to set myself up. Now, YouTube, I'm using YouTube their live stream capabilities. They don't let me switch cameras like I do in my videos, and I use Zoom for that. So the live stream's limited. There's no touch up. So this you're seeing 70-year-old Laura with no touch up like Zoom can do for me. And I don't ever do that full speed because I know once I do a live stream, you're going to see who I am anyway, see all the wrinkles. So, I will use the touch up a little bit, but when you get to a live stream, it's real, it's genuine, it's raw. So it's just the way it is. No filters involved to it. Hey, I hear Lady D's in the audience here, and she also sent me a gift, and it was her suggestion that I do this. I asked her to just for her insights and intuitive nudging because I was getting some about this. And she suggested that I do this. Now, she said that during the live stream, what I could be doing is watching for new donations and, prioritize those for shout outs and questions. But as I said, and I'll say it again, in case you're just joining us, I've had almost 200 people send me gifts. The purpose of this live stream is truly just to say thank you, to do some tarot reads, talk current events with you guys. It's not to get those last minute donations. I feel like I've received enough generosity, and I know some is still on the way. There are people that have said, hey, once payday comes, I'm still planning to do this. There's people that have told me that they've mailed checks. I am not concerned about soliciting more gifts. I just want to thank you for the generosity I've experienced, and it's been so great. Absolutely great. And I love each and every one of you, whether you did it or not, because some people couldn't afford to give. And I said, hey, then let's give some energy. Pardon me, I'll have to clear my throat, I'm sure, a few times. But let's give gratitude and energy to those who did give a tangible gift, that they have blessings or, to feel like their money was well gifted. And so I hope each and every one of you that did give a tangible gift, you felt like it was well received, it will be well used, and you feel like you got something back, because I've been sending blessings and positive energy to everybody that did, including those that joined me in the energy part of it, because energy work is very important. So just wanted to kind of share that and say what our focus will be today. So what I'm going to do is mention people that, and I said I've got almost 200 names, but I'm not going to do all 200 at once. I'll stop when I see a question that's been submitted that has a kind of a broad appeal. Okay, so if you want to know, I saw, excuse me, that's cat hair. I saw one asking about their child. That would be a personal question, and I wouldn't touch it in the live stream. But as I said it in the comments in case you just got here late and didn't read it. What I'm going to do tomorrow is go through all of this listing on Buy Me a Coffee that I've got now. And if someone has submitted a question that I didn't get to that's personal in nature, I'm going to do a real quick private response for you. I'll do a read and tell you what it said. I went through yesterday and did numerous ones like that were just obviously not going to be a question. It was a good question, but it was one that had a personal focus. And I will do that with all of the personal type questions that have been submitted up to through tonight. Doesn't mean I'm going back in the personal tarot read business, but I did say I'd like to handle this whole endeavor as kind of an energy exchange. And you get better results too with the tarot when it's done that way, when there's an energy exchange. It doesn't have to be money, but it's always good. Like Lady D and I, we read for each other, give each other some advice. That's an energy exchange. So that's what they talk about when they do that. Okay, so I'm going to just kick it off here with a few of the names. And if I butcher anybody's pronunciation, I apologize. I will do the best I can. We've got people that donated from around the world. I've got Ireland, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Australia, and just here within our own borders, sometimes people pronounce their names differently than they look phonetically. So if I mispronounce your name, I'm not deliberately being disrespectful. I'm just being a fallible human, and, give me a little grace, okay? So the very first Buy Me a Coffee was given to me by Adriana M. I'm not going to do last names. And she got on there, Johnny on the spot, and gave me the first Buy Me a Coffee. That was followed by Angela, and her note said, just a tip towards your new heating system. Janice said, thank you for highlighting all the positive hope. Mary H. said, keep doing what you do. Big hug. Tina gave a gift and said, to help keep you warm. I'm going to try not to mention the size of the gift because someone could have given one cup of coffee, that's $5, and that could be a day's worth of food for them. And someone could have given much, much more, and it's a drop in the bucket. So I don't want to highlight how much someone gave because depending on your circumstance, it could be like the poor woman that gave 3 pennies, and that was all she had. She gave everything. So I want to just let you know why I'm not mentioning amounts here. But I will mention names. I will mention the little notes that were shared. Tina just put a couple of little a heart and a little star. Donna D bought a cuppa. Jackie B said, stay warm, sweet lady. We have a lot of someones. Those are people that didn't want to be named, so they didn't enclose a name with their gift. Michelle said, hi, Laura. Highly appreciate your tarot reads and you being you at all times. You are a woman of truth and integrity. Big hugs from the Netherlands. So thank you, Michelle. Nancy bought a cuppa, said, thank you for all you do. Nabel R0670 said, sending you back a little love and light in hopes for a well-covered furnace expense. And if you weren't here when I said it earlier, almost the entire amount has been covered by gifts. So, and I didn't want all of it to be covered. That might sound weird because people would say, oh, it's a one-time thing, just take what you can get. But I just appreciate the help. It was much more than I ever thought it would be. Absolutely. Tina is now a member. So I do have on Buy Me a Coffee, there is a recurring gift option. You can become a member. It's $5 a month unless you specified more. It doesn't give you any exclusive content because I've always said I will not charge for content. You have my undying gratitude and thanks if you do that. But that was just people that wanted to give on a regular basis and didn't want to keep track of, was it time for, another little donation. So Tina's now a member. Thank you. Co-Create Happy said, thank you for all you do for us. Pumpkin Spice Princess, who's been around for a long time. I love you, Laura. I love your heart, spirit, tarot readings, professionalism, and messages. We share the same birthday and passion for truth and justice. I, too, had to replace my furnace this last winter, so I hope this gift helps you stay warm. Blessed be. Debbie said, thanks for asking. You give so much. I also live in an older home. I've added an extra insurance to my home that covers appliance challenges. In January, my water heater went out. I paid a fee to request a plumber to inspect, repair, and replace the hot water heater. Good luck to you with your heating challenges. Please reach out with any questions. And yeah, Debbie, my new heating system will have a service contract attached to it. As for the water heater, that was one of the many things that I already replaced when I was getting this house ready to move into. So hopefully it's good for a while. Julie wrote a note that said, hope this helps. Thank you for all of your beautiful videos. We're getting close to a question, just so you know, okay? Peggy bought 5, pardon me, I wasn't going to say amounts. Peggy left some emojis. PJH said, stay warm. Appreciate your updates about Canada. Fran said, may the warmth you radiate with each video return to you 1,000-fold. What a beautiful sentiment. And it has. We definitely have a give and take, a win-win relationship, folks. Sharon said, I send you love and light too, Laura. I appreciate your work. May your new furnace and setup be perfect for you. Tim 1 sent a gift and said, yikes, that's some kind of furnace tank story you have there. Happy to help you stay warm from Minnesota. Another someone said, thank you for all that you do for us. Colleen said, good luck with your home repair. I know how it feels to be facing a big project while living on Social Security. And I do have a small teacher pension, so I do have that. That is what put me just outside the programs that help elderly get something like a new furnace. I mean, I was just dollars above the limit that I was. So, it kind of was all on my shoulders until you folks stepped in. So thank you for helping to shoulder that. Appreciate it so much. Okay, Doris said, for your furnace expense, it's not much, but I wanted to help even if it's in a small way. Jan C said, sending love and light and a little help for your furnace. Another someone said, wish I was able to do more, and that's fine, guys. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be a tangible gift. Let's send blessings and gratitude to those that were able to, so that they get something for what they gave. Vanderhoff said, hi, Laura, lots of luck and love from the Netherlands. Ronald H. said, warm regards. Tilly L. said, a little something towards your furnace. Thank you so much for all you do. God bless you. Ariel M. said, love you. Wendy L. said, you're so loving. I had to try to help. It's not a lot because I'm in the same boat as you are. 80 years old, retired, just spent $6,000 on eye surgery. Hope and pray this turns out positive for you. Sending you love. And I am sending you, and I'm going to encourage everybody that's watching this to please send Wendy some healing energy so that she has a fast and remarkably boring, wonderful recovery from that eye surgery. Joy said, and she's from the UK, said, hopefully every little helps, which it does. Good luck, Laura. Someone said, hi, Laura, happy to help. Here's our first question. I've always wondered, but never knew how to ask. In a 2.0 situation, how do they get family members to play along? How do they not screw up? I'm sure you'll reach your goal. Sending love. Okay, well, let's talk about this. We're going to start with the Laura's view part, and then I will do a quick tarot read. Just a reminder, I can't do a move the camera and let you watch me work with the cards. So you're going to have to either disregard the tarot information or just trust that I'm doing it the same way I always do, where I don't set the cards up in any kind of predetermined order for, a response I'm looking for. So I will hold the cards up after we get them. And understand that I also before I started the camera, I've prayed extensively about this entire endeavor and the information from the cards from the sources I trust, which is my higher self or the creator of all creators. And between those two sources, I need no others. So no channelings involved ever. So let's talk about the 2.0s. Okay. Now, a 2.0 is just kind of the generic term we have when we know someone is no longer the original version of themselves. So we're talking public figures, politicians, entertainers, etc., like that look and act differently over time. And you just know that this is not the original person, that the changes are more, especially with structure, than would ever be accounted for by the aging process. Now, before the internet was scrubbed with a lot of information about clones, that was one of the first topics I was waking up to. And thank goodness I read a lot of the information before it was scrubbed from the internet. So here's what my understanding was from that. And again, it's just my understanding. You listen with your discernment. If it seems like it, resonates for you, like this might be true or highly likely, fine. And if not, just disregard it. When cloning was something that the deep state was avid about. And it's my understanding that cloning actually, as we do it here in this realm, violates natural law, the galactic law, because we don't have the ability to transfer a soul. And our soul is one of the unique aspects of the human being. So we can we can transfer a consciousness, which, memories, etc. We can make a new body, but the soul is it's attached to the single, the original person. And that's why the use of clones was a violation. And it's something that the deep state didn't worry about, but the white hats did, quite rightly. So in the old days, when the deep state would send in a clone, they said often they would send in one for the entire family, that they would replace the entire family. And so since they were all created together and programmed together, I've also heard that almost always clones don't know they're clones, but they wouldn't question changes, but you couldn't sustain changes for long with a clone situation with people that live in close proximity and know your little habits and quirks and things like that, that there would just be too many questions. So in the old days, entire families were switched out. And now let's talk about now. What happens now, especially say someone was consequenced for a crime against humanity. I imagine what happens kind of depends on the family. There are those, probably going to go ahead and use a couple of names that I suspect here, right or wrong. Okay. Let's talk about Senator Fetterman. who had that massive stroke that many of us think that that's when a 2.0 came on the scene. His wife, I always felt, was one of his handlers. She was the one that wanted him to be in politics, kind of the force behind the man, type of thing. I imagine someone like that was focused on power, prestige, position, would have no trouble transferring their allegiance to a 2.0 and helping to uphold the fiction that the 2.0 was the original person. So that's why I said sometimes it can be variable things. There are times I also heard, like in the case of the Fettermans, that a lot of times you'll hear that the children end up going to boarding school or getting sent away for a time, etc. So there's times like that that the 2.0 is handled in that way. There's times when the spouse and family were as active in the shenanigans, especially with crimes against littles, as the original, the person in the public eye. So yeah, their compliance is maybe part of what's expected from them. I don't think anybody's completely fooled. We're also told sometimes, I've had some readers do reads that I really do respect that have said some of these families we see on TV, the children never existed. They were all CGI constructs from day one. So of course they wouldn't have any, CGI construct is not going to have any question whatever. So there's different answers for different situations, and you just kind of have to use your discernment to see which it is. I do believe that quite a few of the cloning facilities have been discovered and dismantled. And so the deep state doesn't have the easy access, like to do the whole family type of things anymore that they used to have. I think they have to be very strategic about who they clone and for what purpose and why. So I think that's just the Laura's view of cloning and the 2.0s. Like I said, sometimes the families comply because, they're told, they're incentivized to, they get to keep their position, they get to keep their income, their mansion, whatever. Sometimes they've been implicated as well. Sometimes we're watching a movie and there's entire movies that are made with CGI. So sometimes it's a CGI situation. Like I said, the one thing I do think that's on the decline is the actual deep state clones. And although I have heard that the White Hats, once the deep state has manufactured a clone, they have at some point reprogrammed them because they're not making them, but they're utilizing them. So once they've been made and discovered. So there's several different answers for that. And that's why it gets a little complex. I'm going to do a tarot read real quick and just ask if there's additional insights. I'm going to ask you if, for the most part, I was conveying accurate information and if there's more insights or information to be had for us about clones and 2.0s in this complicated world we find ourselves living in. Okay. Okay, got the Three of Cups, High Priestess, Nine of Swords, the Sun, Judgment for the near future, Ace of Pentacles. The information I was conveying to you was largely accurate. Again, kind of situational for what happens. And then Justice, again, just saying, yeah, the Justice is involved with a lot of these. So yeah, they'll contract with the families to uphold the facade. I'm getting a nudge that they, even with the family's consent, they do some hypnotic suggestions that make it easier for the family to accept the exchange, the new person. So that would help to reduce trauma, especially with little kids, to do something like that. So, I never thought of that. That's what the cards are giving me. And I'm going to stop with that. Again, use your judgment. But this is, again, a lot of the 2.0 situations are because people have to face up to past actions. The recent past, Nine of Swords, that's the one that always says, there's not as much to worry about as you think. So that was the nudge I was saying that I think where I was sharing with you that I think there's less clones running around and a lot less clone production because of white hat actions. I think that was our little confirmation on that one, which was kind of nice to see. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Buy Me a Coffee. Keep scrolling up till I find another question that is topical, current events, news, etc. Let the cards rest, release that energy, and they're ready to go for the next one. Okay, Allison bought Buy Me a Coffee. Anna said, love, light, and everything bright. Ada Woodcock Pippa, I cannot tell you how excited I am to help. You have given me so much support for the past few years, not only from your tarot readings, but also through your honesty and encouragement. At 73, I am a first wave starseed, and I know that you are too. I look forward to the day that we can hug and thank each other for showing up for each other in this lifetime, as we promised. I send you so much love. Your friend and sister in the light, Ada. So thank you, Ada. That was a beautiful note. I've often thought it's possible that I'm more a second wave starseed, but yeah, I will accept the starseed designation. But you guys decide if I seem to be acting more like a first wave or a second wave. Okay. Goitia? Anyway, said, good luck with this project. Thanks for your excellent work. Love. Lori M said, hope this helps, Laura. And it did. Janet C said, no questions necessary, Laura. You've helped my sanity with your reads. Sheila gave a gift. Allison Luff gave a gift and said, for all you do, sending you love and light and everything bright. Kim Facey sent a gift and said, much love and blessings. Janet sent a gift and said, sending lots of love your way, Laura. You've been such a welcomed addition to my video options. Deanne sent a gift and said, love and light, etc. Vivian P said, sending love. Dee gave with her gift a note, best wishes. Kathy M said, I hope this helps. To my dear fellow reader, as I have mentioned before, I have been reading for 26 years. I'm hoping everyone can bring this together for you. Kathy, kumbaya. And Kathy, yes, they did. I'll say it again in case you joined us late. The purpose of this live stream is to thank you for your generosity, not to encourage more if you haven't already given a gift to the channel. Most of the cost of this heating system replacement I'm having to do has been now covered by gifts. And I don't mind shouldering a little of it myself. I expected to. I kind of like to, because again, I don't want to be a sponge. I don't want to be a mooch. And I like carrying at least a little of my own pack myself. Marjorie gave a gift and said, I love looking at your shows, great insights. Carrie M said, may your furnace replacement go without a hitch. Jackie D said, thank you for all you do for us, sending love and peace to you and a cozy winter in your home. Shirley gave a gift and had a private question that I've already answered, so that's private. You couldn't see that even if you were scrolling or trying to find where I was on this. Annette gave a gift and she said, I look forward to all your tarot videos. Thanks for watching the news so I don't have to. Another someone said, here you go. Thank you. Rosebud said, happy to help. Love you, Laura. Maureen gave a gift. Maureen gave another gift. Maureen gave another gift. It's a little confusing if you need to buy me a coffee. They have an option for 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, 5 cups, and then there's a grayscale one. And people don't realize you could put a huge number in there. You could type 1,000 and it would take it. So you can choose your number. Or if you want a 2, not a 1 or a 3, you can go over there and choose that. So she just kept giving 5 cups till she did what she wanted to do. Thank you, Maureen. Jenny said, hope this little bit helps for unit heating. Love from Australia. Another someone gave a gift. Another someone gave a gift. Jude from New Zealand said, sending warm thoughts from a frosty New Zealand. Thank you for keeping me sane for the last few years. If you haven't thought about it, guys, we're in the middle of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere, but in the South, they're having their winter. Blake and TR said, thanks, Laura, for all you do for us. All I'm up in southern Alberta, High River to be exact. I wish I could have paid for the whole thing for you. Aw, hope this helps. Cheers, Brian A. So thank you, Brian. You didn't have to do the whole thing. You did plenty. Linda L says, hopes this helps. Love your work. Rivka said, I hope you get nice and warm, and please, can you talk about Australia if you have a chance? So let's stop and do another read. I heard recently, I follow a person that does a lot of energy work on X that I've mentioned before, Hilarion, Hilarion. And she was talking about Australia, that right now, energetically, it's still very much tied to some negative energy that's being cleared up on, the non-physical realm. And I think that there might be something to that because Australia seems to be kind of behind on cleanups and wake ups. It's happening. It's happening. So I think they're making some progress on, again, the cleanups, the wake ups, etc. I see that cleanup, wake uping happening around the world with people saying, criminals that aren't native born need to be dealt with and returned to their country of origin, etc. It's not simply a U.S. sentiment. It's being something that people are saying. There was something hang on, I'm going to go to X real quickly if I can. This morning, I saw someone said that we needed to pay closer attention to the inscription on the Statue of Liberty. The last line in the speech at the unveiling of the Statue of Liberty, October 28, 1886, said, "There is room in America and brotherhood for all who will support our institutions and aid in our development. But those who come to disturb our peace and dethrone our laws are aliens and enemies forever." Pretty well said. And I think it was timely that we got a reminder about that. Okay, going to ring the bell, get a little positive energy since that was a little vehement. Okay, what does the universe want us to know about Australia? I'm keeping it real general, guys, real general. And we'll just see what I get. I'm going to do 5 cards. So first one will be the situation for Australia, then clarifying it, then hidden influences and clarifiers for that, and finally, what should our takeaway be for for Australia, for their situation, etc. Okay, first card, 5 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, hidden influence. I like to see that card coming up. Tell them more about the hidden influence and our takeaway. Okay, well, we know that Australia had some of the most stringent and extensive lockdowns, forced jabs, etc. during the scamdemic. Right now, they're feeling still, many of the people in Australia are feeling like they've those that are supposed to be representing them have lost the plot. Now, the other thing here I'm getting is that the people of Australia are willing to put up with, endure some hardships to have some change. They want it. They really do. They're eager for it, and they're willing to, again, put up with some hardships while that happens. And it looks like change is happening. There is, as I said, that energetic change is happening in Australia. That's going to be seen in the visible domain in politics, life, etc. moving forward. The hidden influence is beautiful. This is the White Hats, the Alliance, in all their wonder and glory and benevolence. So you haven't been ignored. Okay, you just the cleanup needed was so extensive, and if you're not aware, there was fighting going on underground for years. Australia was not quite the land that it seemed to be topside. So, and it's been a struggle, and the struggle's not quite over yet. Okay, our takeaway is going to be that change is going to come. It is going to be, I don't want to say drastic to have people think, in terms of drastic, but major change is on the way because this is an ending. And what is going to end is the system right now, again, so similar to what we all have, where no matter what you vote for, they shenanigans the results and just give you who they're going to give you, things like that. There's change that's coming. And the backbone and willingness of the people of Australia to endure some hardships to get through that change is going to be, that resilience you guys have is going to be crucial and vital. So that's what the universe seemed to want to say about Australia. But yeah, the takeaway is change is coming. Big change is coming. And you haven't had it easy, and it's not over yet. I wish I could say, oh, tomorrow's the day, next month is the day, but it is coming. Okay, I'm going to read a few more and then do another question. Angela K said lots of love. And this was also just like Rivka about, she didn't have a question, just said love from Australia. So several people from Australia donated. Thank you. Lori donated. Idon Ray said, Laura, you already give to us. Do not feel guilty for asking for a helping hand. We are investing in you. Love you. That was beautiful. Patricia GS said, thank you, Laura, for all you do. Another someone said, I love your channel. I'm happy to help. Stay warm and toasty in those Maine winters. Another someone said, I love your channel. Thank you for all you share with us. Coco Dylan said, namaste. Another someone said, wish it could be more. It was plenty. Someone said, I love you and your view, Laura. I hope this works for you. And it did. Another someone said, hi, Laura. I know this amount is only a drop in the bucket of what you need to cover the new system, but hopefully with other donations, you will have enough. Saying prayers that you will be blessed with the full amount that you need. Thanks for all you do. Now let's stop there. And I wanted to take a question that I saw in the comments before I went live. And there's a lot of curiosity about financial matters with my viewers. And as you know, other than just affirming in the past that financial change is on the way, that the fiat dollar is going to have to kind of go away or remain visibly unchanged, but backed by tangible assets. I think that's where President Trump wants to go with it. There's a lot of curiosity about that. So someone wants to know about the revaluation. We hear a lot about that for a lot of years. There's a few places I no longer follow because they're always like, oh, it's for, in 3 days, 4B is going to get this, 2 more days till 4B, etc. So I try not to get into that kind of a prediction business. It sets people up for discouragement. But we're going to ask just about the RV. Can we anticipate a revaluation of world currencies? And will that, when it rolls out, will it be simple or messy? Okay, so let's see what the universe wants us to know. I'm going to do Kachina and I've spread about that. Again, just asking, can we anticipate a revaluation of worldwide currencies? And when that rollout happens, will it be messy or simple? So let's see. I want to tell you guys I appreciate you being here on a Friday night. I know there's lots of things you could be watching and doing, so I appreciate each and every one of you, especially my moderator, Tess. Hopefully she's not being kept busy. You guys are behaving yourselves in the comments there, I hope. Okay, situation. Clarifier. Recent past. Current. Near future. Strongest insight. Secondary insight. Okay, so what we're getting from this, haven't got an ace yet. I'm going to peek. 2 additional cards. Nope. No aces involved with those. Okay, so the situation looks like the RV. We are getting a nod. This is a victory card. So we're getting a nod that, yeah, we can anticipate a revaluation and a tying of world currencies to tangible assets. We absolutely can. Now, the tarot is telling us that when that rolls out, it's going to be well thought out. It's going to be a simple process. What I've always heard and what seems to make sense to me, this is the Laura's view and the Laura's recall going on here, is that when most of us, now I'm not talking about people that have done speculative currency purchases, but most of us that just have money in the bank and money in our wallets, etc., we're going to wake up and it's just going to have automatically been converted overnight, one-to-one exchange, period. So simple for those of us. And then those that have currency that needs to be exchanged, etc., they'll have opportunities to go in and do that. And you don't have to crowd and be the first one in line, because this is a card of stable, well thought out, precision planning. So you can be the last one in line and you're still going to get the same value for the currencies that you exchange. Don't fall for any of those scams that claim they can get you earlier or a better rate, or give me your money and I'll go get a better rate because at the end of the line it's not there. Don't believe that. Okay. Just know when it happens, it's going to be very, very well thought out. And as I alluded to, without mentioning any specific names, there's been a lot of false information out about the reevaluation. Absolutely. And about money changes in general. But our realm is going to more asset-backed currencies. That's going to be the norm, and it needs to be. So that's what the universe seemed to be wanting us to know about that. Okay, well, I have been talking for 41 minutes. It's time for a sip. Okay, look at my cup. I use a glass container. Let's talk water for a minute. I distill my drinking water. I got a distiller on Amazon for $58. It takes about 4 hours to do a gallon of water, but that water has absolutely no chemicals or anything in it. I bought a well-respected sea salt that has 80 some microminerals in it, and I put just a little bit in the water. Then, because it's become a process over the years, but I think it's so important, it's worth it to me. Then, especially since I'm still using unfiltered water for things like bathing, etc. So my contact with, water that does have things like fluoride in it is not 100%. So I wanted to make sure at least my water was. So I put a little bit for flavor. It does help the flavor. Put a little bit of that salt back in the water, those microminerals, and I'm talking just a pinch. Then I store the water for a few hours in a copper container, and that is supposed to be naturally antimicrobial, and a little bit of the copper gets into the water. You can taste it if you leave it in there like overnight, and that is good for us. So a lot of people are copper deficient. Then when it's actually poured into what I drink from, if you notice what's in the bottom of that, that is a chunk of shungite, which is also supposed to be a substance that can do some amazing things, including water purification. It's good with EMF energy, things like that. So I figure it can't hurt. There's one in there. So that's what goes on with the water. Again, I distill add back in some micro minerals, store it for a while in copper, and then put it in glass containers so it doesn't pick up any microplastics. So, but I use a plastic straw. We live in a complicated world. I do what I can do. I'm not going to use a stupid paper straw, and I don't want to break my teeth off on a metal one. So, like I said, we do what we can do. Okay, let's look at a few more of the many gifts I've got on Buy Me a Coffee this last week. Okay, Cindy R said, Laura, you're such a sweet lady. I enjoy your shows. Sending blessings your way. The Kirsten Kelly Chronicles said, hi, Laura. So sorry to hear about your furnace. I'm on disability, so I totally understand when something this big needs to be replaced. Wish I could send more, but I hope this helps. Been watching for years, and I always gain insight from your tarot readings. Thanks for all you do. God bless. Jackie said, best wishes for a smooth replacement of your furnace. And by the way, the oil company that's doing this called me today and made sure we were still on for Monday. And Monday, they're going to be tearing out the old furnace and starting the new system install. Greg and Loretta said, thank you, Laura, for all you do. You are so giving in every way. You deserve a new furnace and to be comfortable. Much love from us both here in West Australia. Joe donated here and also said, I also donated via YouTube. Thank you very much, Joe. Maureen, thank you. Diane L said, good luck and hope you get your furnace sorted ASAP, and it is. I've got another person that's just someone that decided to be a monthly supporter. Thank you very much. Just want to mention on that. That was just for people that wanted to give recurring gifts. It's not content that's behind a paywall, because I've always promised everyone that I will not put my information behind a paywall. I mean, if I do a private read, you have a right to have private results shared with you. But if it's current events or news, something like that, we all deserve to have access to that information. But some people are choosing to still become a member and just kind of to have ongoing support headed my way. And I appreciate that very, very much. Edward and Nadine B said, trusting you will receive more than you need to get the job completed and stay warm in your home. Thank you for all you do. XOXOXO. Colleen F said, God bless you, Laura. Hope this helps with that furnace. You're such a bright star that you deserve all that God has to offer. Your eyes shine with love each and every show, which is soothing and reassuring in this time of uncertainty. Thank you for all that you do to help humanity. I'm getting a nudge to stop here and mention something. Again, this is just, Laura has heard this and it sounded like it was true. I have heard that reptilians cannot laugh. They can kind of do a chuckle and smile. But with that, once I accepted that as a possibility, I got to noticing how few of the entertainment shows and vehicles that are online actually have laughter. That you have like a character that puts her head back and laughs. And I know when I first started loosening up a little bit with my videos and I would chuckle and laugh online, that was one of the reasons I decided I am not going to apologize for it or try to stifle that, because there are some evil creatures that are unable to laugh. It's got to offend them. Too bad. So sad. Too bad. I can laugh. I'm human. You can't. Deport yourself. Oh, so it's something to watch for too. They apparently they lack the ability to laugh. So that might be why so many, well, there's multiple reasons why so much of the entertainment that is shoved in our faces has social messaging or has, we're supposed to start admiring demonic energies or what have you. Yeah. So, okay, let's see. William S. said, thank you, Laura, for your amazing tarot readings on YouTube. Kitty W. said, thank you for all you do. Jody said, thank you, Laura, for all your hard work for us. Lightness of Being, Lisa said, love you, Laura. Had a similar situation recently and had family members gift me with support for it. I'm inspired and moved that you reached out to your YouTube family of followers. I wish you a great attraction and manifestation of a warm and cozy home this winter and fall and spring. She's right. 3 seasons of the year we use heat here. I'm in New England too. Hope this helps. So thank you very much, Lisa. Anne Marie B.F. said, I hope this helps. God bless you and all you do. Kelly C. said, God bless you and thanks for asking for help. It's hard for me too. Sometimes we must be the receiver. Yeah, that was tough. I'm usually the giver. So Lisa, 2A Lisa said, thank you, Laura, for all you do to support truth, positivity, and spirituality. I've tuned in for years and always check for new Laura content. I appreciate you. Praying you're provided more than you need for your new furnace. So again, guys, that's one of the reasons I'm not even mentioning gifts. This is my gratitude live stream to you. I've had, as I started the live stream, I've had almost 200 people give a gift. I've had almost those 200 people take a huge chunk of that project off my shoulders. And so it's not like I'll refuse any future gifts, but I'm not going to mention that there's any kind of need for them. There's checks that are still headed my way. I'm not worried about it at this point. And so I've gone from having some sleepless toss and turn nights about how do I do this? And oh yeah, house insurance is due next month. And in October, I've got to pay property tax, which I normally would have had no problem with, but it's going into, yeah, all those thought loops and worry loops are gone because of your generosity. So this really is a thank you live stream from me, okay, to you. Pearl, you've been around since the beginning. You said, Laura, you share so selflessly with us your special gifts. It's a privilege to be able to help you with this expense. Terry M. said, I do thoroughly enjoy seeing you every day and love your messages. I know it isn't much, but I truly hope this helps you out. Another someone gave a gift. Another someone gave a gift and said, thank you, Laura. Love your energy and really enjoy your videos. I never miss one. Love and light from Aussie. Teresa G. said, in gratitude for your guidance via tarot. Being a single homeowner, I feel your pain. Wish I could help more. Allison C. said, hi, Laura. Love your content. Appreciate the support you've given me over the past 6 years. Much love to you. Pamela M. gave a gift. Another someone gave a gift and said, I'm always so grateful for your reads and thorough education you always provide in explaining the cards and their meaning. Thank you. Now, one of the reasons I do that, when I was getting ready to start the channel, the YouTube channel, I had no idea how to, I knew how to use Zoom a little bit, but I had to learn how to upload videos, and I hired some help for that to show me how to do things, to get things up. One of the reasons I didn't squelch this retired teacher aspect of me that wants to let you know what the cards are saying. I didn't want to just do what I saw so many people doing, stare at this layout of cards, even though they're showing them to you, and go, and then they start telling you without telling you why. Because it just bothered me. I think I can still take my card reading to a level or add nuances that a basic reader might not have. But there's no reason to deny anyone who wants it the opportunity to know what the basic meaning of cards are, the tarot cards are. That's not going to detract from people that choose to watch someone that, again, can get some nuances or make some connections that they might have missed or not gotten to. But the basics are there. And I liken that to when I was teaching reading. I wanted every child to be able to read. And in the United States, third grade reading level is really, that makes you functionally literate. You can read a newspaper, you can fill out an application. Third grade literacy was kind of the benchmark, 100 words a minute and reading third grade level. That's your basics. I feel like with tarot, if you have an interest, you should be able to learn the basics, okay? I want you to use those basics safely, not just open yourself up to any kind of random energy for the answers you're getting, etc. But the basics, everybody can read the basics, and it's not going to detract from the people that choose to watch the more in-depth readers do their thing. So that's one of the reasons I thought, I know no one sits around and explains these as part of a, current events video, but that's the way I'm going to do it. So that's why I do. Okay, Rose had a personal question I've already answered, so that one's private already. Kim S. said, love your show, happy to help. Another someone said, thank you for all that you so lovingly do. D. Carl said, I enjoy your videos, been listening to you for at least 2 years, hope this helps. Lorena Ames W said, my pleasure. I enjoy watching your videos. Blessings to you. Diane M said, all the best to you, Laura. You've always been here for us. It's time we are here for you. And that sentiment was repeated over and over again. And it's been a very emotional week. Just receiving all that positive energy and love. And you guys you've been amazing towards me. And like I said, giving me peace of mind that I didn't have because of this. I've got it back now. No worries about a worldly, situation. Let's see. Anna P said, I can certainly relate to what you're going through. Been there, but I'm fortunate it was just replacing the water heater and HVAC unit. I'm so sorry you're having to go through this. May God bless you with that furnace you're needing. I'll be keeping you in my prayers. If I may, I would like to ask for prayers if you have a moment, mainly for good health. Thanks for all you do, Anna in Kansas. So I already wrote her that I'm honored to pray for her good health, but not only that, may she enjoy the most positive possible outcome for any situation she's facing. So if you are so inclined to send some good health and healing intentions and energy to Anna in Kansas, she's asked for them. She will receive those. So, if you'd like to join me with that, you can. Leslie M gave a gift. Andy gave a gift that said, thank you for your work, for your humanity. Someone said, always love your sweet voice. And speaking of voices, I want to talk about my voice. I had 2 throat surgeries in 2007. They left a little vocal cord damage. And because of that surgery, I have to use thyroid replacement hormone. And that isn't as precisely measured as, say, if someone was a diabetic, how they can check their sugar and adjust their dosages of whatever. It's kind of just a general, we think you're in this range, so we're giving you this microgram of it. And when mine's off a little bit, or when I'm stressed, I've noticed when I'm stressed, I get that raspy voice. Please know, like tonight, I can already tell I'm not quite I'm a little bit raspy. My voice isn't, I'm not in any pain. I'm not sick. It just gets a little raspy, and that's the way it is. I mean, the only thing is I used to love to sing, and I was part of a select choir in high school, and my singing days pretty much over as a result of this. And I try to time my videos so that like today, I tried not to talk too much to people to save my voice for tonight. But that's what goes on with it. So if I have a night or a video where I seem to be a little bit hoarse, you'll just know that I was a little low on that thyroid hormone, and it's not something you can go pop an extra one, to get you over the hump. It's just going to be the way it is until the following day when you take your so many micrograms, again. So that's kind of the way it is. That's what goes on with my voice. I'm glad that when it's not raspy, you think it's sweet. I appreciate that. And let's continue on down through this. Yvette said, thanks for all you do and good luck. Lori S said, I hope this helps you. Joan S said, you're a beacon of light in a dark world. You are awesome and enjoy your show very much. Carol said, I hope you get enough donations to fully pay. I think you'll find propane a more carefree option. I've heard good things about it, of what's available to me. What I really miss is the natural gas heating I had in Alaska, but there's no natural gas around here. Your options are electric, and we have some of the highest rates in the United States here in Maine, or stove oil, which I explain why I can't keep going with that, and not without having even more expense than I'm having switching to propane, or kerosene, which is higher than stove oil, and then propane's about half that price. So it's an initial big investment, but I'm supposed to see smaller energy bills going forward, so I hope it works out well. But we have to have heat. We have some days here that are 20 below 0 Fahrenheit. So there's times when, a little space heater or an electric blanket just aren't going to do it. So you have to have it. We're coming up on another question. This is a good one. Angie said, love your show and appreciate you from Rhode Island. Will JFK Jr. be an important public figure to communicate to us during EBS time about historical and or present truth? So that is a great tarot question. Let's explore that, will we? Okay, so now I want to phrase it accurately, because we've heard, I think probably most people that would watch my channel um, have heard, and it feels truthful, that JFK Jr. did not die in that plane crash. That he is, it was actually done to um, stop him from being assassinated as his uncle and father had been. So that he's still around, and he's now a master of disguise. And so I like to think that it feels like it could be true to me. So we know if that's the case that he's been around. Okay, he's been to rallies. He's been, he was probably watching that UFC fight last week. He's maybe even appeared as an elected official a time or two. So I think what she's asking here, and how I want to clarify it, if you didn't intend it this way, I'm sorry, this is the way I'm going with it. Will JFK Jr. as himself be an important public figure to communicate during any EBS or disclosure huge events? So is he going to publicly reveal himself? And then obviously he would be well received and important. So the core question is, are we coming to a time when JFK Jr. can take the masks off and appear as himself and maybe help our country and our world through some transition, plus any additional insights and information? And further, if this information, as it probably has been veiled or obscured, I don't want to impact anybody's safety. But I would like the answer to be as clear as it would have been prior to any veiling or obscuring. So I'll do a Kachina knife spread. I'll show you the cards as I pick them up, and we'll see what happens. Situation. 3 of Wands, clarifying that. 7 of Swords, recent past. The Moon. Current. 4 of Pentacles. Future, Death. 2 of Wands, strongest insight. Another insight is the 17th major arcana, the Star. Okay, and this is where we get a little beyond basics in tarot reading. So the situation is indicated by the 3 of Wands. Sorry, gotta do things opposite of how it feels like I should do. This is when the world is looking in a new direction. What's going to happen was our question. Okay, the nice thing about this card is it always means that the path ahead is very, very clear. Okay, now that's going to be important because in that time when the path ahead is clear, there's still going to be some shenanigans going on, people trying to make those last minute power moves, that kind of thing, take advantage of others, etc. Okay, we're being told that there's been in the past, there were significant attempts on his life, and this being so versatile a man that's able to be a master of disguise was absolutely part of the necessity, based on necessity. The current situation, okay? JFK Jr. is not at this time in a public position of power and authority, kind of biding his time, kind of keeping track of his resources. Let's look ahead, though. Even though, if you don't know this, the Death card showed up for the near future, this is indicating a long, slow change is just about to be done, not a passing away. Actually, the Moon card often indicates that more readily than the Death card ever will. So in the time when the transition and moving ahead, what's going to happen? Now let's see. Again, he is going to have a global presence. It's not just going to be in the United States. So he is going to have a role that extends way beyond our borders. So that's good to see. And then the most reassuring card is the 17 card. It just says when the time is right, when things have changed, when the moon is in its seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars and all that stuff. Okay, it's going to happen. Plus, this is also a nod to the fact that there is a very tangible and real tie between the 17 team and JFK Jr. So, if not one of the core members, definitely part of the inside crowd. Absolutely. Okay, let me get these cards ready for the next read. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Got 241 people, and there's so many other things you could be doing with your Friday or Saturday morning in some cases. I appreciate the fact that you're here and listening. I hope that the reads I'm doing are going to be varied enough that it's worth your time. And okay, I'm going to ring the bell again. I love that bell. That was from Bara in Germany. And it's small, but it's mighty. I just love it. Okay. Grain Pie Patriot said, what an awesome feeling it is to be able to do good for someone so great at sharing knowledge and insights. Thank you. Krista Suze 127 said, thank you for your readings. Here's some warmth for you for the warmth you bring to others. And Bot also gave a gift and said, I love your channel and you too. I really appreciate your readings. I've wanted to donate to you for a while, but I keep waiting to catch up on things. I want to give more and eventually will. Well, Ann, you gave enough. And like I've said several times already, the purpose of this live stream isn't to encourage you to give more. If you haven't already given, if you were planning to and you're still going to, that's great. But I've had such a nice response to this need that most of the expense has been covered already. And I can just simply do this live stream as a gratitude to you. This is my gift back energetically to those that stepped up and gave me some energy this week and some tangible assistance with something that was a little big and heavy to carry. So thank you very much for that. Teresa said, dear Laura, I pray you never have to worry about heating or other bills again. Also, I was watching yesterday the something about Tartarian heating. Wouldn't it be nice to live in a place like that again? Yeah. And then she says, Isabella Terra saw a big ship showing up on our planet this summer. Do you see the same? Okay. Well, I think Terra by Isabella is another one of the very good readers out there who gets some great results. And I like that she wasn't asking me to vet Isabella, just wondering if I see the same. So I'm going to do a 5-card reading about that and just say, it would be, to me, to my way of thinking, it would almost be more of an uncloaking, because I think those ships are already up there. But again, is there going to be a big ship either appear or uncloak in our skies this summer? I think people are ready for it. They've done these actual UFO disclosures, and people are going, yeah, knew that, saw that, heard that, followed that on alternative media for years. It's kind of like old news already. So I think people are ready to step it up a notch. So the question is, big ship showing up in the skies this summer, is that a possibility? 5 cards. Basic answer. Clarifying that. Hidden influences. Ooh, the Tower. Telling more about the hidden influences. And our takeaway, the what we should be keeping our focus on. Okay. The hidden influence is important here for the 5-card read. We didn't get a hard yes. Okay. So I can't confirm outright what Isabella said. It does seem that it is likely that there's going to be a series of events that involve some major change in the world, some tower events. And at that point, it's under consideration to do that uncloaking or unveiling. Again, I'm getting a nudge that those ships are already there. Okay. We've been a tourist destination for other races and realms for a long time because, as I understand it, humanity and Mother Gaia is going through a unique situation. We didn't get a complete reset. We're getting an opportunity to repair our DNA, to get ourselves unshackled from slavery systems, and to, in our current lifetimes, in our current reality, move on, move up. And it's an unprecedented galactic event. And so, yeah, we've been a destination. I have a thought of alien races in big ships slipping on sipping on a Slurpee and watching things. So it could happen. It's not. We didn't get any no's with this at all. It's kind of contingent on some events that are going to happen in our realm. If it does, it's definitely being considered. And if it's done, it's going to be because it seems to be of benefit to the average person to have either this confirmation or information, whichever the case may be. Okay, you guys hanging in with me? It's been an hour and 10 minutes. I said I'd go up to 2 hours. If we have any shenanigans from YouTube, last time I did a current events live stream, they cut me off. I think they didn't like the topic I was covering, and we got cut off at about 1 hour and 38 minutes. If that happens, if YouTube shuts this live stream down, I will quickly do a take two because it only takes a minute or so to do it. But I'm determined that tonight that we will end this live stream when we choose to, not when we have moved beyond YouTube's comfort zone, which I'm trying not to do, but I'm also trying to speak honestly and from the heart. And if they can't handle that, they need to get ready to handle it. Okay. Solaris said, all the best for your new furnace. Stay warm. Valerie G said, some warming gratitude for all you do. Jess R said, love, light, and toasty toes. Thank you for all your positivity and hope you send out to the world. Regina F said, thank you, Laura, for all you do. Blessings to you. Marja said, warmest wishes. Lynn said, wish I could do more, but I'm happy to help as always. Best wishes and lots of love, Laura. I'm praying the remaining funds will come in. God bless and keep you always. Cincy Sunflower said, you always share your smile and giggle when I listen to your interesting and informative reads. Love your fairies too. Wish I could help more. Let's talk about the fairies just for a minute, but not in super duper depth. For whatever reason, I mean, the first time I had a visitor in one of my videos, I was still in Alaska. And it was such an exciting moment to see something appear in the video. Just a little orb. You know, when I hadn't seen one, I didn't know what to expect. I was expecting something large, and it was exciting. But when I bought this house, it's got a rather deep backyard, and the back part of it has been left natural. It's not very deep, but I think it's a space that little fairies and elementals feel comfortable in. And I do believe we share our world with lots of beings that just have had to be shy or reticent so that they're not, exterminated or taken advantage of, etc. So since I pray for protection for this house and these premises and everything before I work with it, this is a safe space. Not only that, but other than the fact that we do celebrate when one chooses to show up on a video, I'm not trying to capitalize on it or take advantage of it in any way. And Lady D has also got some fairy stories and some gnome stories. And we are talking about doing a collab with a fairy focus. And I think that'd be interesting. So to that end, for the first time ever in my tarot career, official professional career, I bought a deck this week of tarot cards fairy tarot cards. I thought, since I've got fairies that keep showing up so often in my videos, and in honor of them, that's why I bought this little sun. I'm going to turn this and I'll turn back. See, it says fairies enchant this area. And that's usually right about where, between there and the brown books. That's where they kind of show up or seem to make most of their appearances. Hi, Nova. Anyway, I thought, I think I'll get a fairy deck. Now, these are very, very bulky cards. And it looks like if I use them just a 3-card draw would be kind of the max that they'd be useful for. So let's just ask what the universe wants us to know, what the fairy tarot wants us to know about the fairy presence in my videos, plans for a collab with that being with Lady D being the focus, where we talk about some of our fairy experiences, etc. Let's just see what the universe wants us to know. I need to turn these over so I can't see what they are. I wasn't intentionally having them face up, but they were. Okay, so let's just see. 3-card draw. Kicks and giggles, fairy theme. What should we know about that? And my frequent fairy visitors. Strength, okay. And the strength card, again, they are feeling stronger about appearing and letting themselves be known. They're anxious to be known. The 8 of spring. Now, the note under this card says stress that comes from having many things happening at once, successful multitasking, sudden events or changes. So when it talks about multitasking there, I think that's kind of a nod to the fact that it would be a successful endeavor and there's interest. Okay. And then the 3rd card, the Chariot. That's a victory card. So yeah, there's going to be more fairies showing up, and I can't make it happen. I just let them know they're welcome. Lady D was giggling the other day because when we weren't recording yet, I went into teacher mode because we saw one as we were talking, and I thought, their fairies are from another realm. They're visiting. There's no guarantee that they know how to read English to read recording on that Zoom thing. So I started explaining, if you want to be in a video, and then, I'm sitting down here, I'm getting ready to do them, but if you want to be in the video, watch, there'll be a little dot here, and I was explaining what color to look for. Now, I haven't instructed them about live streams. So on the live stream, I'm not doing on Zoom. You just got that little green dot there that says we're on camera. So if you guys want to show up, do your thing, okay? You're more than welcome here. And as I said, other than the fact that we celebrate that we see them, there's not any plan on my part to capitalize on it, to harm them. I do ask them, please, I have that human tendency to swat at mosquitoes and gnats, so please make sure you don't put yourself in danger or appear close enough to that kind of shape that I would make that mistake, because I would feel horrible if I swatted at something that was just trying to visit, make themselves known. So there we go. Looks like those fairy endeavors are going to kind of be supported. And Lady D, if you're still in the comments there, looks like we're go on that. Yeah, you are there. Or you were, at least where I can see here. Okay, let's go back to a few more of these many, many beautiful gifts I got and share some notes. Susie's Original says, I'm wondering if the health ranger, Mike Adams, has been captured or if he's just playing a role in a movie, the movie that we're of our world. I used to watch him, but found his content to be too negative and had to stop. Thanks for all you do, Laura. Sending you love, light, and everything bright. P.S. I wanted to send $17, but settled for $15 instead. Okay. Well, let's look into this, because that is another content creator that I no longer listen to regularly. I try to ration the amount of negative viewpoints that I listen to. I don't want to lose my focus. I don't want to be discouraged. I don't want to, I don't want to have a little artificial happy bubble going on. But it's someone that I no longer give as much time or attention to. So our question is, and I'm going to do a Kachina knife spread on this, Health Ranger, who had good health information too. Of course, he was selling a lot of stuff, but I can't, he does what he does for a living. I started this after I had, a small pension earned and stuff. So I don't have a family I'm raising anymore. So I have a heart for people that need to, make a living with what they do. We all have to earn our living somehow. So no question. But again, if there's too many product pushes, it's a turn off for me. And then I go from being turned off to turning that creator off. So let's see what's going on with Mike the Health Ranger. Captured 2.0 or what? We're just going through a time in his life where he's losing hope. He's been awake for a long time and hasn't seen the results he wanted. Discouragement can really happen. It can just be discouragement. Let's see what's going on. Okay, situation. Ace of Pentacles. Then we have the Four of Cups, recent past, Knight of Swords, current, Four of Wands, looking ahead. Yeah, we got a 2.0 going on, guys. Six of Cups. That's heartbreaking. I'll say why. And then Wheel of Fortune. Okay. So, according to what the tarot seem to be saying, this is subjective. Okay. I'm not asking anybody to stop watching him if you watch him, or, say, there was this little channel that was reading about you and they said this and that. Okay. The cards seem to be indicating that, yes, he's playing a role. Okay. And why I said it was heartbreaking, he's kind of had to change his focus and his messaging because he's trying to keep his children safe, his family safe. Okay. He is anticipating an end to this chapter of life, to this, the constraints he's operating under. But let's have a heart for him, because what the cards seem to be saying is if his message has changed, it wasn't all because he wanted it to. Okay. He is trying to play a part that keeps his family safe. So have a heart for him, okay? I say love, light, and everything bright, but the world isn't always love and light and everything bright. And I would be stupid if I said it was. That's why I try to be kind of careful about the topics I choose, things that might possibly have a positive spin on them or some nice update information. So let's make our intention that if there is issues he's had to deal with about family safety, etc., that those get resolved in the most positive possible way. Okay, let's move on. Carmel said, best wishes to you, Laura. Lynn said, I'm glad you have a way through YouTube watchers to help pay for this important expense. It's a result of the service you've offered over the years that we are happy to help, and this potential is a gift back to you from Spirit. And that was a beautiful perspective. So thank you. Gavin said, thanks a lot, Laura. Much love, Gavin. XMMYP 2009 said, best wishes to you, Laura. Jean W said, stay warm, Laura. I will now. The furnace goes in starting on Monday. Margaret said, keep warm. Someone bought a cup, 5 cuppa. Tamara Peace bought something, gave a gift. Sun, S-U-N, said, thank you for your work. Much love. Sean, S-I-A-N, so I think I said that right, said, hope this helps to keep you toasty this winter. Fern Golob said, thank you for all you do. Deeply appreciated. If I butchered the pronunciation, it wasn't intentional. Another someone gave a gift. Mila D. And Mila, I know you from the comments for years, so I'm glad to see you here. Not that you had to give me a gift, but it was nice to see you here. And she wrote, thank you, Laura. Hope you'll succeed. And in the future, all will have plenty. And let's have that be our intention and make it so, guys. Karen E. said, I can see you nice and cozy this winter with your new furnace purring away. The feral world of Christian Stray said, will Canada or various provinces in Canada become the 51st state? So let's ask the tarot about that one. Will Canada, will or has? Because I've heard people say, it's a done deal. Once Trump starts talking about it, there's this lag behind things actually having happened and then rolling out, for the normies and in real life, etc. So I guess we want to know, will Canada or various provinces in Canada officially and publicly become the 51st state, plus additional insights and information? There is a yes or no element to this question. Canada is pretty important. I'm going to do a Kachina knife on this to go a little deeper. So will Canada or various provinces in Canada publicly and officially become the 51st state, plus additional insights and information? Okay, situation, Two of Pentacles, clarifying, Queen of Swords, recent past, Two of Swords, current, King of Cups, near future, Ten of Cups. Getting a yes, guys. Three of Swords and Queen of Cups. Okay, lots of kings and queens that showed up on this one. Also, two twos, which kind of indicate 50-50. Okay, now, does this mean the entire consortium of provinces will become part of the United States at some point? That's what I think could be 50-50. It's either right now it's still a little up in the air, and that's kind of bolstered by the fact that the two, for the recent past, the Two of Swords is always about kind of a stalemate. Looks like in the background there's been some negotiations going on. They've hit a couple sticking points. It's not ready to be announced and be a public deal. However, in the near future, it looks like as our world changes, Canada is going to be part of that change. Now, I hesitate to talk about the 51st state because I'd kind of like us to go to like regions, the North American region, that kind of thing. And what's interesting, though, is there's going to be a lot of misinformation still going out there about that option, the possibility. And those that are being talked with, negotiated with about this are not operating in good faith, similar to how for so long Iran did not negotiate in good faith. Canada's doing the same thing. Okay, but there is a strong divine feminine energy associated with Canada that's going to help resolve the situation so that they can get to this place of prosperity, peace, and all generations celebrating some very positive changes. So that's what seems to be being said about Canada. I like that we're bouncing around. We've looked at Australia, we've looked at Canada. I'm going to read a few more and then take a question I saw in the chat before we went live, because I thought, oh, that's a good question too that will be of interest to people. It's one that normally I wouldn't want to explore in a video. But tonight, hey, we're touching on things. That's why they might not all be, sunshine and roses as far as the answers we get. But we're doing it, guys. Okay. Holly said, I love your videos and wish you much love and success. Deanna said, I hope you get all the help you deserve, Laura. Love you, lady. Someone gave a gift. Ginny said, happy to help. You are loved. Jacqueline asked a private question. I made her donation private and answered it with a tarot read already. Lisa M. said, I'm happy to help you out, Laura. Thank you for all you do. Cheryl gave a gift and said, "Best of luck to you, Laura, in getting this furnace. I'm just donating. Don't need any questions answered. Thanks for all you do." Diane B had a private question. I made her our conversation private and answered her with a tarot read yesterday. And then Deb's Free Spirit said, "Hoping to help keep you cozy and warm this winter." Anita said, "Bought you a cuppa." And let's stop there before I move on. In the chat before we went live, because I can't follow it too closely right now, someone asked a question about Trump. Will Trump complete his second public term of office? We're hearing a lot about, actually, to have this all roll out, he needs to step aside, have the military be in charge, etc. I know there's a plan, and no matter what seems to happen to him, I am operating on the faith that he is, number one, divinely and by benevolent off-world energy, kept safe, and that will continue. My hope is that at some point he can pop into something, get age regressed a few years, and enjoy a lot of golf. But is in this current timeline, is Trump going to be able to trump the person seen in the public eye as Donald Trump? Is he going to be able to successfully finish out his second term of office, plus additional insights and information? If there's veiling or obscuring of this information, I don't want his safety to be impacted, or those that are making these plans and contingencies, but I would like accurate information. It would help us brace ourselves to know, can we anticipate him finishing out his second public term of office as President of the U.S.? Situation, Queen of Cups showed up again. The Devil. Recent past, Two of Swords. Current, the Sun. Looking ahead, we have the Six of Wands. Then we have Temperance for insight. Further insight, we have the Two of Wands. I'm going to hold up two other cards and just see what we got with them. Queen of Pentacles and Eight of Wands. Okay, let's look at what we have, though. We were asked that question. We did not get a hard yes. And it's a little concerning that the situation with the Queen of Cups, this is one of planning and introspection. So at this point, what I'm getting is there is talk. One of the options on the table is to have Trump seem to not finish his second term of office. And there are those that have not always the highest positive intentions and motives for advocating for that. So while it is an option to have him seem not to finish his second term of office, those that are saying, hey, that's the plan we should go with, and then we do this, this, and this, they're not all of them operating in good faith. But President Trump is a pretty sharp cookie, and he's going to know that. Right now, what I'm seeing is that there's two options that are kind of considered, and basically those are him finish his term of office and step down and step aside for whoever's elected for the next term, or him seeming to have some reason to step down prematurely or need to. However, the current situation, the Sun says, don't worry. It's all going to plan. Okay. While they do discuss options, like I said, President Trump and his team they're sharp cookies. Okay. They're going to make the right choice to whatever it's taking. And I have no doubt about it, because the near future card was the Six of Wands, which is a victory card, a victory. And the White Horse talks about moving forward in a new positive path. So no matter what they choose to do on that, and I'm thinking he's going to finish, even though people are saying there's no way he can finish. There's no way. I think he's going to be able to be at that swearing in ceremony for whoever's 48. The temperance card says there's a lot of teamwork involved. That again, that core team around Trump, I think he's identified who the white wolves are. He knows who to seem to be listening to, and then do exactly, just know exactly where they're coming from. And the other thing is, we're coming to a time when our world is going to move into some beautiful changes, and he's part of that, and he knows it. So we didn't get a hard yes. We didn't get a no. What we got was, it's an option. This is under consideration. But he's well aware that some people that are saying, hey, we need to have you seem to be irreparably harmed at blah, 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 and hey, then you could go play golf beyond the ice wall or whatever. He knows what their motives are, okay? And he's not buying into it because we have the Sun card and the Six of Wands, Temperance, saying strong teamwork and planning's involved. So I'm going to say, again, that I think he's going to finish his term of office, even though people are saying there's just no way. He's got to step aside. I think he's going to finish it off and then be there for the swearing in of 48. We'll find out if I'm right, won't we? Here's an interesting one. I'm back to the buy me a coffee things. And I want to do a tarot read about this. Okay. I had several people give a gift and swear they have been following me for 6 years. It is 2026. My YouTube channel on my timeline went live in 2022. So I want to ask the universe, have we had a timeline merge where some of my viewers really have been watching me for 6 years? Because you're in one now where I've had the channel for just over 4 years. So I thought that would be a fantastic question to pose to the universe. So let's do it, okay? All right. Some of my viewers insist they've been watching me for 6 years. But on this timeline, and to my recollection, and according to, if you can look when the channel was started we started this channel, and I haven't had one prior to this in 2022. So do I have some viewers that came from an adjacent or merged timeline where they really have been watching me for 6 years, plus additional insights and information? I love the range we're doing tonight, guys. This is fun. Okay. Situation, King of Pentacles. Telling us more, Page of Swords. Recent past, Three of Pentacles. I'm just curious because so many people said 6 years, 6 years. Current, Nine of Pentacles. And near future, we got the Three of Cups. Insight, Seven of Pentacles. And then we have the Two of Pentacles. Two other additional ones that showed up that aren't going to really end up being too relevant. We had the Page of Pentacles and another one, the Eight of Pentacles, just indicating some hard work, mastery, blah, blah, blah. In other words, I'm operating in good faith and integrity, and the universe recognizes it. Okay, I would have loved to have an ace show up on this and have this be a hard yes, an absolute hard yes. It doesn't seem to, we haven't got a confirmation exactly, other than we didn't get any hard no's either. Okay, number one, that's it. That's interesting to know. The recent past card, what showed up was the Three of Pentacles, which talks about firm foundations, etc. So you know what? Then current, we've got the Nine of Pentacles. We've got a celebrating card with the Three for the near future, the Three. Okay, here's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Those of you that recall, and now that we've talked about it, you're probably going to go, what? And you're going to have that fuzzy memory when they start blending past timeline to current one. Don't let yourself get that blend. If you remembered that you've been watching me for 6 years, you're absolutely right. You have come from a timeline where you've been watching me for 6 years. Apparently, we have blended in with or merged with a timeline where I started this channel sooner than I actually did in real life. In 2020, I was getting ready to. I was taking some, I was watching back when Janine had her instructional videos for free on YouTube. She hadn't been, her channel wasn't gone at that point. I was watching them. I was taking some lessons because I wanted to go from just someone that, did 3 card draws independently and to a little more capable, and then blending it in with the online element, which for me has been perfect, because one of the reasons that I have not done a lot of personal reads is I've got a strong empath tendency that I don't always have blocked off well, and it drains me to read for people. I have a much easier time reading about current events, again, because I can kind of be emotionally detached about it. Even though I'm avidly interested, I'm not emotionally attached to most topics. And the other thing is too, with the personal reads, there was just, some people just had, their energy was just so draining. I'm sorry, but like if someone, and I had an example with no names attached. I'm unhappily married. My hubby of 35 years is in poor health. Can I anticipate him dying soon? I really want to be a widow. That was such, and I'd have to reply back, I can't explore it this way. We could ask for insights or how to make the most out of your life as you find it. It was just energetically really, really draining. So that's one of the reasons that I limit my personal reads. I did them, as I said, for 14 months because I knew this furnace thing was coming up, and I was trying to squirrel that money away from those personal reads, which is why I mentioned about the need and how the expense was so much more than I had anticipated. I said, it's going to happen. I thought I'll get it one way or the other. Even if I end up having to put some of it on a credit card, I'm going to get this done. And if you haven't been with me from the start, again, that's one of the reasons that this live stream truly is a gratitude one, where we're just exploring some viewer comments and questions, and I'm thanking people. I'm not asking for any further gifts to head my way. If you were planning on it and you still intend to, that's great. But as I started this video, the vast amount of the cost for that has already been done with gifts, and I'm quite happy with that. And I don't want to be, I don't want to be pretending there's a need that no longer exists, or saying, oh, I've only gotten a little of it. No, I haven't. You guys have been remarkably generous, and a great percentage of this project is now being covered by gifts. And I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, and I want you to know that. Okay, let's look again at some of the buy me a coffee things. Carol W. was one that said, thanks, been following for 6 years. Appreciate all the positive vibes and great intel. Nancy M. said, I enjoy your channel so much. Such a positive, kind soul. Much love and blessings. S. Wood gave a gift. Thank you. Max and Webb said, God bless you. We've watched you for years. Time to give a little back. Nicola said, I love your videos and hope you get your heating sorted out. I haven't had central heating or hot water for more than 8 years since my boiler broke, so I know how bad it can get, although the UK isn't so cold. However, living for 8 years without hot water, God bless you, sweetheart. I hope that gets resolved for you. I really, really do. Gloria F. said, sometimes it takes a village. We have your back. Love you, Laura. Minelu, M-I-N-E-L-U, so I hope I said it close to right, said, Dear Laura, I love you and I hope this helps a little bit. Mary Beth W. said, hope this helps, sweet Laura. Sandra L. said, hope this helps some. Love and light to you. Ruth gave a gift. Mary gave a gift with a message. Happiness is a new furnace before winter hits. Amen. Kevin Lee gave a gift. Linda H. said, Laura, I'm sorry to hear that you're having a hard time. Hope this helps you. I haven't had a heater for years. It's hard. Well, Linda, I don't know where you live, but yeah, if it was a mild climate where you can make do with an electric blanket and a couple space heaters, that's great. But up here, it's we get some extreme weather. Not as bad as Alaska, but close. And a heating system was just needed. Lori S. said, hey, Laura, thanks for all you contribute to the Patriot movement.
Patricia F had I've given her a private read already, and so that we made that private. Someone said, hope this donation helps a little. Love your readings and view too. Leilani gave a gift. Thank you. Another someone, Julie B, said, good luck reaching your goal. Wishing you a warm winter. Lived in Maine for a winter when I was young and remember how cold it could get. Ziobi gave a gift and said, thank you, Laura. If I make the cut, please ask if the IRS of the past had been eliminated. I think Ziobi might not be a native English speaker. But I'd like to honor that question and just ask for some insights and information about the IRS. Because we're told it's been done away with, but they can still, believe me, I got dinged for they said I did my taxes wrong in 2021 and please send us $3,000. So somebody's still operating the IRS. Somebody is. Let's see what's happening with it. Just going to do a simple 5-card read just for asking for some insights and information about the IRS. If there's a yes element to it, it's can we anticipate it going away in the near future, plus additional insights and information about what's going on with the IRS. Let's do it like that. That way we got a yes or no element to it, and we will find out. Okay, status, 9 of Pentacles, clarifying that a little more, Knight of Cups, hidden influence, Page of Wands, clarifying that a little more, we have the 4 of Cups, and then we have a celebration card for our keep our focus on or final answer, etc. with the 10 of Pentacles. So it is going to go away. It is going to go away. But as I said, currently, something is still operating as the IRS. And especially if you have any kind of a public face like I do, don't play games with it. Okay? Wait for the refunds or the rebates or the return of our monies, etc. Be the way to do it. So that's what I'm getting with that. Okay, definitely, it's something that the White Hats, the Alliance, want to have happen. Absolutely, absolutely. There's one more thing that needs to kind of fall into place before they can go public with the change, but it is going to happen. It is going to be publicly acknowledged as gone, and it's going to be happy, happy days when it is. You guys hanging in okay? I'm going to look for an answer from Tess. How you doing, Tess? Because I just have one moderator tonight. So has everybody been behaving themselves? And Lady D has stuck with us almost through the entire live stream. I'm so glad you're here. And by the way, that wasn't a signal. That was an itchy nose. Tess says she's doing great. Okay, that's good. I should have made Lady D. She offered to be a moderator. I should have made her one. But if you're not working Tess too hard, and all that means is just don't make snarky comments. You know, if you haven't got anything nice to say, you didn't pay an entry fee here. Go away. Don't make her work. Okay. Let's go back to the buy me a coffee. L&D said, thank you for what you do. You're a joy to listen to. Stay warm. Nuala gave a gift. Catherine gave a gift. Jan gave a gift. Susan S. said, thanks for all you do. A furnace is a real need. G-Jig 1954 said, love you, sweet Laura. You give so much. Thank you. I think we're going to have a visitor up here, and I'm not talking fairies, but my little cat Sparkle is feeling, she wants mom. You want to come up? You want to come up? You want to come up? Come see me? I'll be right back. Okay. Let's go say hi. Oh, everybody, this is 15 pounds of Sparkle. 15 pounds of Sparkle. She's my big baby. Now, she doesn't get in videos much because unlike my older cats that are no longer with me, she chews on cords and tries to interrupt the process. She doesn't just want to sit near mom. So I have like cords that go from the webcam to the computer, and she chews them and will destroy them. So that's why you don't see her as much in videos. But I couldn't do a 2-hour live stream and have the door shut against her for that entire time, her or Nova. So they've been in and out. But she thinks I've been online long enough and it was time to stop and give her some scritches. Right? Right. So that's Sparkle. Will that hold you over for a few minutes till I get done here? And hi, Nova. Okay. Let's do this, guys. It's 8:49. We've got 11 minutes. Let's see if I can get through this list here. If I can't, I just want to say again, my plan tomorrow is to go through the Buy Me a Coffee site for my channel. I'm going to reply to everybody's messages, even if it's just a simple thank you. And I was trying to acknowledge everybody tonight in this live stream. And then if you've asked a question that needs a tarot answer, I will do a quick read and just make your question private and reply to it. So, and I think you get notified for that because I know the ones I did yesterday, I got responses back on email. So people did get notified that they had a response from me. So, okay. Lily Star said, sending you love, Laura. Okay. And Cheryl F said, hope you receive lots of blessings to help you living on my own with my husband in a state veterans home. I understand about unexpected costs to maintain your home. Yeah, I had a lot of single women that said, yeah, I understand why this caught you. You know, this was a biggie. And home ownership when you're a single person can be difficult. Here's a little something from Esther M. She said, here's a little something with much love from me to you. Best wishes for a very successful outcome for your domestic issue. Cynthia C. said, I understand how you feel asking. I'm the same way, but sometimes we need help. Won't be long. You'll be okay with the upcoming money. We just keep hanging. LOL. She's right. And as I said, please, again, this is a gratitude live stream. This isn't it's your last chance to give me some money. People have been very generous. I just wanted to do this live stream and thank you for that generosity. Cynthia Campbell gave me a gift. Lena L said, she has a private question. I'm going to answer her tomorrow. Robin had a private question, which I've already answered. Janice R said, we love you most. And Barbara gave a gift. M. Claire said, I have so liked not having your content interrupted with ads, and you are a very good reader. Thank you. Yeah, that was important to me. I'd like to talk for a minute a little about that. When my channel first got monetized, I was still working. I was actually doing some contract educational work. So I had a nice income stream. And I tried to be generous with a lot of people. There were some content creators I supported, some, I'll just leave it at that, okay? Things I did for others, not just family members. Sometimes in some cases, people I didn't even know in real life, but I felt like there was a need or I felt called to. And one of the things I did was I said, now that I'm monetized, I am going to be giving a certain amount of my money to, and I mentioned 2 charities, the 2 that I recommend to everybody, wherever you live. There are 2 places you can usually give your money to that stays there and it's well received. Your local food bank and your local humane society, animal shelter. And I was trying to support those 2 nonprofits. And what I did was when my channel became shadow banned, which meant that there was less ad revenue associated with people viewing my things, the income went down, and I didn't want what I gave to those nonprofits to go down, to fluctuate. So I kept trying to still give, even though it became more and more, in fact, of a percentage of what the YouTube earned. In fact, I can say with confidence that for the last 2 years, I have given away more than YouTube has ever paid me in ad revenue. And And it's just how I've had people say, oh, how your tune has changed, when I've mentioned that my ad revenue's been restricted. Yeah, and it changed the budget because I didn't want to change what I was doing for others. And also things change. I'm now, as I said, 70. I'm retired. I no longer do any kind of consulting education work. So basically I'm kind of a fixed budget and still trying to be, support the things that are important to me. And that was my local humane society and food banks. And didn't want to give that up. So just wanted you to know that that's kind of what goes on. It's still important to me. I'm not going to put any of my content behind a paywall. I'm never going to approve ads mid-video. I hate those. Wanted you to know kind of what I do with the ad revenue I do get. And that helps me support some causes that I think are important. I don't want to give ones that have high overhead, corporate structures, et cetera, like that. We know what we're talking about, Red Cross, et cetera, things that were just never what we thought they were. But as I said, feeding your local folks that are in need, supporting your local food bank, supporting any kind of humane society or animal shelter in your area, or a nearby area. Maybe you don't like the way it's run in your community. Maybe it's not a no-kill shelter, but you want to support a no-kill shelter. You can find one by starting close to home and help close to home. So that's kind of what changed, but won't change again is me putting content behind a paywall to have subscribers that get exclusive content. I'm sorry. I mean, I love that some people want to give on a regular basis and they've chosen that membership option on Buy Me a Coffee, but I'm not going to give you exclusive content because that just I feel like we have enough trouble trying to get accurate information and truth tellers, or people that are at least trying to give accurate information and truth telling without putting it behind a paywall. And I also have a heart for people that are on an even tighter budget than I am, that they're doing good to just be able to afford an internet connection or, toddle on down to their public library and use a public connection. And I know some people view that way, and I want to have a heart for that. And that's not going to change. Okay. Someone said, God bless you, Laura. It's not much, but I hope this chips away at the bill. It did. Starry Heaven said, your honesty and approach to sharing news is what lightens my day. Cheryl said, love getting your intelligent analysis along with the readings. Siggy said, not much, but comes from the heart. Kind greetings from Austria. So we got Austria, Australia, New Zealand, the Netherlands, England. Anne said, for the new boiler fund, Laura, we appreciate what you've done over the last 6 years. Paula B said, Laura, you do so much for all of us. Thank you. I wish I could do more. Andy gave a gift. Joe gave a gift and said, so happy to contribute something as a thank you for all you do. Diddy said, I know this wasn't easy for you. You have a real need, and I pray we will be able to help you. Thank you for your service in the military and as a teacher. Now you are helping so many find comfort in the world around us. Diddy gave a second batch of help. Janice said, my daughter, a special ed teacher, will retire soon. Thank God. Thank you, Laura. Linda B said, I just ask that this be a blessing to you during this time of need. Sending you love and light. Okay, excuse me. Sparkle left a little hair that's tickling me. North Idaho Betty said, I appreciate all you do for me, sending abundant energy for a big furnace fund. And yet, North Idaho Betty and anybody that's didn't start with the live stream when it was first started, I am simply doing this live stream as a gratitude, thanking people, doing some tarot reads, and everybody's generosity has almost completely covered the expense. And so I'm not trying to solicit some more. I got to admit, if I'd only gotten $100, I would be encouraging people. So I'll be watching, submit a gift on Buy Me a Coffee and I'll read your question. I've got enough questions and I'm not trying to actively solicit more gifts. I appreciate them if they come my way, but the generosity's been just absolutely wonderful. And it just seems like it's time for a bell. Okay. Styler said, I am tickled that everyone came together. I knew we could do it. There is power in numbers. Vivian had I made her comment because she had a question that was personal, and I've already responded to Vivian. Thank you for your gift, Vivian. I hope you got your answer. Gretel Tally Ho said, thank you for all you do. Jeannie said, I will give more if I get something more this week. I had to do a fundraiser to get my horses out of a bad situation, and it was very hard, and I didn't want to do it. You give so much to all of us, and never feel badly for asking for a little help. God bless. And Jeannie, if you're watching this, you don't have to try to do more. You're obviously doing something wonderful for some horses. So have your focus be on them, okay? Peg L said, very happy to be able to give you some support, Laura. Marilyn P. is now a monthly supporter. Thank you, Marilyn. I love your show and listen daily. Here's a little something to show my support and appreciation. X Babbitt 13 said, hello, neighbor. I'm on the Nottingham Forest line in Lee, New Hampshire. Never bushel your light. The golden age is here. Cat, a.k.a. Kimberly, said, thank you for all you do for us. Bara, I think, hopefully it's the Bara I mentioned, gave me this. Said, warm thoughts and a big hug. I did figure out this cup of thing, though I have to pay in euro and a conversion fee to dollars, but it saves time and postage. Love you. Oh, so we've got a gift that came from Germany because I know where she's located. Maureen R. said something nice. Heather C. said, sending blessings and prayers to Laura. Jody said, I hope you reach your goal. Not sure what I would do if I was facing such a huge expense. Good luck. Crystal K said, sure hope this helps. Wish it could be more. Thank you so much for what you do for all of us. Lori said, blessings and prayers for your needs, that your needs are taken care of. And thank you for all you do for us. You are so loved and appreciated, Laura. Wendy L said, Laura, you are such a kind and loving person. I pray this trying time passes quickly and these gifts of love and appreciation for all that you do continue till the bill is paid in full. Love to you. Jill said, it is an absolute pleasure to help a little Laura. You deserve it. With love from across the pond. The only thing I can think to ask with this being in the UK is for any reason, update on Starmer being forced out. Nothing seems to budge him. Don't worry if there's no time. I know you've read on the UK situation before. Thank you. It does seem from what I was reading, some political analysis, that the midterms, that I guess you'd call them that, the elections you had yesterday, are kind of boxing Starmer into where an exit really is. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So let's just ask the cards real quickly. Can people in the UK anticipate Starmer stepping aside and going away in the near future? Plus any additional insights and information. 5 cards on this one because we're running short on time. But my vocal cords are hanging in there, so I'm going to keep going. Answer? Yeah, you guys are struggling with him and making all those corrupt decisions of his. Telling more, Queen of Wands. Hidden influences, the Hanged Man. Telling more about that, we got the 3 of Wands. And the final takeaway should be Ace of Cups. You can't anticipate him stepping aside or down in the near future. Yeah, like I said, it's quickly becoming a case of not will he, but when will he? He's not going to be given much choice about it. This is a good time to mention, let's revisit the fact that Restore Britain, which is now an official party, didn't get the majority of any votes. I don't think it was intending to, but it is going to continue to grow. I did a read about them, I think last week, and I phrased it as, will the goals and objectives of Restore Britain largely be successful? We got a yes on that, guys. Those of you in that country who are dealing with being jailed for censorship, and let's talk about that for a minute. You get jailed for a social media post, but a 30-year-old man who throws a 3-year-old into a crocodile pit to be killed, he was severely injured, but he wasn't killed, is taken into custody and then released on bail the next day. Or you live in a country where over 250,000 girls have been sexually assaulted, that's raped, mutilated, it's trafficked, etc., by those grooming gangs. And the typical consequence they face is getting called in and getting a letter of reprimand. You guys have your outrage is understandable. Your desire for change is going to happen. It is going to be so strong and still collectively unified. You're going to have such solidarity of those big focuses you want. It will happen. It doesn't mean Restore Britain is going to be the party that's in power. What it means is the principles and precepts of Restore Britain are going to see success. And that's where it counts, getting your country back. Okay, so stand firm, stand tall, stand up, and know that even though your news is censored, some of it gets to us, and we support you 1,000%. Okay, Laura's view. PJ has I made hers or his private and gave them a read yesterday. Someone said, blessings, may the gifts of the universe bring you tenfold. Linda D said, I just saw this video. Here's a little something for everything you've done for us with all your videos. I made a private reply to Phyllis and did a reading for her. And Fitzy PG from Adelaide, Australia. We need AC here more than heating, LOL, but she gave a gift towards my heating. Mickey gave a gift. Tony gave a gift. Okay, I'm just going to read names because we're really out of time here. So moving on up the list, we've got Elaine, Jan S., Ling, Gail W., XL Flippert, V. Hoffman, Lady D, Carla H., Janice, Tracy V., Carol B., another someone, Dana Rubin from Fertility Delivery, who I've known for years and did an interview of years ago. She gave some. Another someone. Dell gave a gift. Anara Glows gave a gift. Anara Glows gave another gift. Cerise. Sherry W. Sherry W. came back and gave another one. Someone. Marina M. And our final one, Suzanne. Okay, guys, I hope we did enough bouncing around with current events that you found something interesting to listen to. And again, sincere thanks. This was just the Buy Me a Coffee. I had about 4 or 5 people who gave a donation through Venmo, and I've gotten 2 checks, and I know there's several other people said a check's headed my way. So I only highlighted the Buy Me a Coffee. It's not lack of appreciation for the others. I just ran out of time. I did want to say the 2 checks that I do have. One was from a Robert. One was from someone I think I'm going to be good friends with in New York. And I appreciate everybody's generosity. Again, one last time, the intent of this live stream was to thank you for showing me so much love and giving me so many gifts that really did a lot to defray that upcoming big expense next week of getting the new heating system installed. And when that happened, it also gave me a lot of peace of mind. And I appreciate each and every one of you so much. So the intent of this live stream was never to motivate you to give more. I feel like I've received enough generosity, and I appreciate each and every one of you that gave. And even if your gift was prayer and intention, that matters. Okay, so again, if that's what you were able to give, and even if you were able to give a tangible one, let's wish best possible outcomes for everybody who gave some sort of gift or, jumped in on this. Let's have everybody have blessings and positive outcomes, and just say, my life took a turn for the better after I did this for so-and-so. And may that be what you realize, what you live, what you enjoy and experience. So with that, 2 hours and 7 minutes after I started, with a slightly hoarse voice, but a heart filled with gratitude and thanks, I thank you for all that you gave me. And I hope I returned a little of it with this live stream. I love you all. And if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, and I wish you everything bright. Best possible outcomes, folks. One last reminder, we won't be having a meditation this Sunday. That's Father's Day in the United States and a few other countries. We'll do that next week. And speaking of solidarity, that is going to be our focus. so that with our friends and neighbors and family and loved ones, we focus on the things we have in common, the things we agree on, and we get rock solid on those. We can agree to disagree or have our disagreements in other areas, but it doesn't mean that we throw out the baby with the bathwater, right? It means we're going to be solid wherever we can be with those around us. The things that we are in like mind about, we're going to celebrate and stay solid on. That's going to be the focus of our meditation this coming the fourth Sunday of June. So until next time, which will be the news review that'll air on Monday, I send you love, light, and wish for you everything bright. A special thank you to Tess for being my moderator and for Lady D for being active in the comments and engaging and just supporting this whole process, and for the very idea of doing this live stream and maybe finally setting my pride aside and asking for a little bit of help. So love to you both and to all of you too. Bye.